you just realized your business needed to hire someone? Like yesterday. With Indeed, there's no need to stress. You can find amazing candidates fast using sponsored jobs. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. And just how fast is Indeed? Well, in the minute I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to the Indeed data worldwide. Seriously, there's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/WonderyUS. Just go to Indeed.com/WonderyUS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/WonderyUS. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Let's Talk with Heather Dubrow starts now today. Oh, I'm so excited. This is so cute. Denise Richards is here with her daughter, Lola. They are the stars of Bravo's Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. Of course, everyone knows Denise. She's an actress, a businesswoman, New York Times best-selling author, and her incredible daughter is here. And this is so, so fun. Please welcome Denise and Lola.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you, first of all. Do you remember how we met?
I don't remember the very first time, but I've seen you so many times.
I know. I do remember because I have this thing, and I've been talking about this for years, but it's so funny. Like, I will see someone who's famous, right? And I will pause and think, like, do I know them? Have I worked with them before?
Right.
Or do I not just know them because, like, they're famous? Like, I remember one time I was at Fred Siegel and Daphne Zuniga was there. Do you know Daphne?
Yeah.
And I turned around and I was like, oh, it's Daphne Zuniga. And I just paused and she looked at me. She's like, Heather. I'm like, oh, good. Hi.
I've done that before,
Okay,
too.
so you and I were at an audition.
Okay.
I was on Housewives. This was before you did it.
Okay, I remember.
And we were in a waiting room. I don't even remember what we were auditioning for. I just remember you started talking to me and I thought, okay, we know each other. And then I realized we didn't know each other. This is like years ago. And I was like, oh, we didn't know each other, but I think you watched the show or
Yes.
you knew me from the show.
Yeah.
We knew each other, but we didn't
remember what the audition was.
No, but we
Right.
didn't know. We hadn't met.
But
And I was just like,
there was something familiar. And
yes,
so, yeah.
exactly.
No, you're so sweet. Not every single actress is sweet when you're in the waiting room auditioning,
Well,
and you were lovely.
And so were you.
Thank you.
I mean, but it's a tough place to be in those
Yeah.
waiting rooms.
It is.
I mean, especially like, everyone's in your category or you're, obviously all vying
Right.
usually for I don't even think you and I were trying out for the same role. It was for some TV show. But yeah, it's hard to be in those
I know.
rooms.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
But
It's part
look
of
at
the
where we are
process.
now, man. How did we get here?
I know. Look at. I love that you're doing this.
So I've been doing this for 10 years. Is that crazy?
10 years.
10
Wow.
years of it. And Lola, you just started your podcast.
Yeah, she did.
That is so great. It's funny.
you.
I think that people sometimes go, oh, everyone has a podcast. You know what? Everyone should. It's like a new version of social media. It's great.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do that?
It's a faith-based podcast. So I'm a follower of Jesus, and I think sometimes people who are younger Christians can be a little embarrassed to share their faith. And I found Jesus really young. Well, 18's kind of young. So, I decided to start it and talk about my faith journey to maybe inspire people to show that it's okay to share your faith,
By the way, I'm in love. Is she the cutest thing ever? Why do you think that people are embarrassed to talk about their faith?
I think because of our world can be so judgmental.
Yeah.
I think
Everyone judges.
I know. You're
Yeah.
judging
Not
if you're too
everyone,
right, you're
but-
too left, you're too this, you're too that.
yeah, people can be so judgmental, and people maybe could think it's not cool or whatever, or it's embarrassing. And so I think it's just, it may not be very common when you're young, but I think that's why people may be embarrassed or scared, because they're so scared of getting judged,
Yeah, I think it's great. Modeling is great, and you're
Yeah.
going to be a great role model for so
Thank
many
you.
people
I
that
hope so.
hear you. And so what is this like? Because, look, you have 3 kids, I got 4 kids. They're all very different,
Yes.
right? So are any of your siblings on the same path or no? Not so much. So you're spearheading your own faith movement here. I love that. I think that's great. What does that do to your family dynamic?
Oh, it's probably very similar like with yours. It's well, first of all, my girls were raised, they went to Catholic school, but
mine did sometimes too.
And they would, they were baptized and everything. But I really applaud Lola that at, her age that she, when she was younger, she didn't have a choice. I baptized her and this is where you're going to school, and I love that she's chosen, this is the path she wants to take. Sammy's the opposite. Eloise is, she loves going to church when we go with Lola because she loves all the singing and everything. But, all my kids are very different. I have to, when they were growing up, discipline them a little differently from each other, which I think was hard for them to understand too, because they would think I was favoring one over the other or picking sides. I'm sure you've dealt with that with your family as well. But I love that my girls are older, like having an opinion and being, I wish I had the strength and the confidence that they have when I was their age.
Yeah, me too. It's so much different. I mean, I think at the time, when we were younger, it was all about, it still is about fitting in.
Right.
But I do feel like with social media and TikTok and all these platforms that you guys have at your age, it does allow you to differentiate yourself. And I feel like the good part of that social is showing that you can be an individual, because the people that are really successful as influencers are people that are authentically themselves and stay, true to what they believe and who they are.
Right.
We didn't have that. We were like, no. What? So we're going outside. Are we all wearing black tops and light wash jeans? Great.
It's so true.
Right?
Yeah. It's very different.
But I'm sure you guys all roll your eyes at each other and do all that business.
What do you mean? Like my friends?
No, your siblings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine do that too. But you know what's really good to know, and I always tell my kids this because we have an age spread like you do. Your youngest is how old?
13.
Right. So mine's 14. So she's in seventh grade?
She has a private teacher.
Okay.
She's special needs, so she's not in a grade.
Okay. So is in eighth grade. And like middle school's just...
That's hard.
Oh my gosh.
Middle school's the worst. You know this.
Yeah.
But I keep telling them, because there's a 7-year age spread, like when the last of you is 21, you're all the same age.
It's so true.
It will get different.
Yes.
You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will be different.
And you'll be friends.
Yes.
And what's interesting, Sammy and Lola, they do have a lot of differences with each other, but they're still very protective of each other.
That's good.
And when they are older, I know that they're going to look back at certain things and they will be best friends. And they are friends too. They have little tiffs.
Yeah, my kids go through this too. Like two of mine are picking at each other. And it's funny because I grew up. How many siblings do you have?
Just one.
Me too.
Yeah.
You have a sister.
A sister. Very close in age.
Me too.
18 months apart.
16 months apart.
Okay.
Wow.
You're the older or the younger?
I'm the older.
I'm the younger.
Okay.
How'd that go for you?
Well, I know how Sammy feels because Lola got things earlier than Sammy did and privileges. And I remember growing up, my sister was allowed to have stuff before I was allowed at that age. And so, but it's silly stuff like sisterly things, you get past it, obviously, when you're...
Are you guys close now?
We are close. We're very different.
Yeah.
You and Sammy?
No,
you and Aunt Nell.
Her name's Michelle, but we call each other Nell.
Oh, yeah.
So we're Aunt Nell, and I'm Aunt Nell to her kids. And
That's
it took
funny.
all the kids a long time to figure out. They're like, wait a second, you're both Aunt Nell. We're like, how long did it take you to figure that out?
So funny.
We just have always had this nickname for each other.
That's so cute. So we were the same, 16 months apart. I found that difficult. Because, it's a little too close in age.
I agree, because you're also fighting over the same friends at times, and they did too.
Yeah. My girlfriend, Sarah, who also grew up with just one sibling, and she has 2 kids, I would talk about my 4. This one's fighting with this one, and this one doesn't really like that one, or whatever. She's like, that's terrible. And I go, no, we're just not used to this.
Right.
Because it's different. As soon as you start to get a 3rd and a 4th,
right?
Because when you just have one sibling, you're locked in. You got no choices.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Okay, so tell me about, let's take this back before we get into the new show, let's take this back to reality in general. So I've talked about this a lot. Like, I remember very vividly being on a scripted show when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came out. And that was like, it destroyed everything on TV. And I remember all of us actors being like, reality TV is the curse. It's going to ruin everything. And, you know, no one does reality and all that kind of thing. And now here we are all these years later. Obviously, the landscape of television has completely changed. And it's like woven into the fiber of all of us. How difficult was it for you to hop on Beverly Hills Housewives? Do you remember?
Not difficult, but it's funny when you said that show, How to Be a Millionaire. For me, what I remember was The Osbournes. That was the first reality show that I recall as a family show that I saw, and I loved it. I loved watching them. I loved seeing, you know, all their animals and seeing the dynamic between the family. But it was a tricky thing with being an actress, you know, doing reality. But it's when we started acting, either you did film or you did television.
Right. Or theater.
Right. So it's amazing how it's evolved. But I did a show when the kids were younger with Ryan Seacrest called It's Complicated. And that was a big decision. But, you know, I wanted to do it and kind of had to, actually. And then with Housewives, I feel that, you know, I felt that everything in our business has changed so much. And I love that there's so many different platforms to do, to entertain, you know, and with streaming and everything else. And so for me, it wasn't a hard decision at the time. Quite a few years ago when I was approached to do it, I wasn't in the right place in my life to do it. I was single and I was going through such a terrible divorce that I'm like, I'm not in a good place for me to do a show like that. But years later, I was fine to do it.
When I first came on, I don't think there were any other actresses on.
I don't think so either. I think you were the first.
I think I was too. And I'm only pausing because Kyle and Kim Richards are both actresses, but they were child actors. Right. So I don't think either of them had worked since at that time.
As an adult.
Yeah. So I think I was the first current actress on the show. It was I thought it was going to kill my career.
No, I could. And I'm sure, did your agent think it was going to kill your career too?
Yes, everyone did. And my parents were so mean about it. I had no support at all except from Terry.
So why did you decide to do it?
Terry signed the contracts.
Oh, but obviously you guys talked about it. What made you want to do it?
We did. I didn't want to do it. Really? I thought it was a bad plan. And he thought it was silly and fun because he was a doctor. He is a doctor. But for him, this was way before Botched. He wasn't doing TV. And so he thought this was folly.
So did they meet with you and Terry and do a sizzle of your family?
No, because we had been pitching a show about me and my girlfriends opening a restaurant. And that's how I got in front of Evolution.
Okay.
And that's how I met Alex Baskin.
Ah, okay.
So it was we really like that show, but would Heather ever consider doing this? And that's what so I came in a little unconventionally.
I see.
Yeah. But I will say, I am unbelievably grateful for the whole platform. And even though sometimes it can be, upsetting or frustrating or all those kinds of things, I feel like exactly, Lola, what you're talking about. I've been able to show our family, and I have 4 kids who are different genders and different sexualities. And we've been able to start conversations in other people's families and show them what our really normal family looks like. And that's so exciting. That's why I love what you're doing with your platform.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Yeah. Time to talk about hormones. I know you reach a certain age and it feels like everything is working against you. I totally feel this. I'm telling you, everything changes and it's changing constantly. You're sweating, you're cold, you're hot, you're cold, you're happy, you're sad, you're pissed, you're not. So let's talk about Happy Mammoth's Hormone Harmony. Hormone Harmony is an herbal formula that fine-tunes your entire hormonal system. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. It helps with all of that. Plus, it helps with stress hormones like cortisol, which can contribute to weight gain. There are over 40,000 reviews on their website. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds seconds. And that's because Hormone Harmony can help with such a wide range of problems. Hot flashes, night sweats, racing thoughts and low moods, poor sleep and lack of energy, occasional bloating and gas, no desire to be in bed with someone, if you know what I mean. The biggest benefit is 100% of women surveyed say after taking Happy Mammoth's Hormone Harmony is they're feeling like themselves again. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Heather at checkout. Thrive Cosmetics has been celebrating the strength and beauty of women for over 10 years. You guys know I love Thrive Cosmetics. The green tube always makes me so happy. I know I'm going to have great lashes, and I've been using it for years, but I've now become obsessed with so many of their other products like the Brilliant Eye Brightener and the Shine Lip Tint. Super hydrating. It's sheer amazing. Also, Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free. They're made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance formulas, and uncompromising standards. Plus, for every product purchase, they donate funds and products to causes including LGBTQ+, domestic abuse, and under-resourced youth. So celebrate the women in your life with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/Dubrow. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/Dubrow for 20% off your first order. All right, so you did only 2 seasons, I think, right? Of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Yeah. Time to go.
Yes. It was also after my second season, it was right while it was airing was when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And so dealing with that and then dealing with, the downfall of a very dear friend of mine with Lisa Rinna, that was really hard for me to have to wrap my head around, like, how could a show ruin a friendship of so many years? It was really hard. And,
to this day?
Oh, to this day.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
But you know what? It's okay, though. The journey before I enjoy, but it is what it is. And things happen and people sometimes change and whatever. But at the time, for me not to go back a third season, my reunion was really difficult because I felt like none of the women except for Garcelle, although I have now become really good friends with Sutton, but that...
Oh, right. I saw you at her party.
Yeah, no, we're really close. But at the time it was, I'm like, no one on this show likes me or wants me back. This will be a really, like, how do I make this make sense? Because I always went into the show as myself. I didn't want to play a character of myself. And so I came in wanting, as friends, like, no one likes me and this won't, how do we make this work? So
it's really hard. You know what? I don't watch any of the shows. I have to watch our show because I have to see what everyone's saying. Right? But like, I never watch myself unscripted.
I don't either.
I don't
and people don't believe it, right?
No.
And it's like,
Lisa Rinna and I used to talk, I've done Lisa for 100 years. But we used to talk about this, like, oh my God, we have to watch ourselves now. This is terrible. Because at the time you had to write blogs.
Right. Oh, yes.
And so you had to watch everything. Oh my God, it was so...
I forgot about the blogs. That was my first season. The second season we did it.
They got rid of it.
Yeah.
We had to write blogs for like many years.
It's just a lot.
It was a lot. But, to have to watch yourself. But I don't watch the other franchises because I had watched when Beverly Hills first came out because we were friends with Paul Nassif.
Oh, yes.
Who's Tara's partner on Botched, and Adrienne Maloof, but we knew them before they got married.
Okay.
So we knew them a long time. So it was like, oh, they're doing this show. So I think we watched the first maybe season and a half. But then what happened for me is, so I'm really friends. I'm friends with Lisa Rinna. I'm friends with Garcelle. I've known her for years.
Right.
I've become friends with Sutton and Crystal and all these different people. And when we see each other out, I don't want to know what happened at the party on the show last week. I just want to be your friend.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah.
To me, it's cleaner because you have to do this with the people that are on your show.
Right.
So you exited it out. And what made you you've done some crazy shows, Denise. Like I texted you, but when I saw that trailer for that
Special Forces.
Special Force thing. I didn't even know that was a show. I'm behind the times, clearly, because it's like season 3. But when I saw your clip, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
God, Lola, could you believe she did that?
No. Well,
Did you know what she was going to have to do?
Well, they didn't tell us ahead of time what we're
what was
doing.
the pitch? Because it wasn't like Dancing with the Stars. Hey, Denise, you're going to come in. We're going to give you a cute outfit.
They approached me to do season 2, and I hadn't seen season 1. Then they sent season 1 to me, and I said, absolutely not.
No, because you saw them being buried. And
I said, I'm not doing this show. I'll kill myself.
Right.
Like, I will really come back very injured. Like, I can't do that. And then season 3 came around. It took quite a few phone calls, and they, convinced me and that how safe everything is, and it's more mental than physical, and all this stuff. And
it looks very physical.
It's extremely physical.
Yeah.
And clearly I'm not an athlete. So my Pilates did not cut it. But I'm glad I did it. But they don't tell you what you're doing. But I had an idea of certain things possibly because I watched the other
It's like when you watch Survivor or Fear Factor, you kind of you
would get an
vibe.
idea.
Yeah.
But I did find out where we were filming. And so I was like, okay. But I didn't know, I had no idea I'd be jumping off a boat onto a helicopter or jumping off a bridge, stuff like that. You know what? If I was told that, I would probably be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't think.
But then you're there in the moment and you feel like you have to do it.
And I was the ding dong that did.
No, tell them not to call me because I'm not going.
And I am glad I did it because I met some really amazing people. The short time that I was there, you bond very quickly.
Oh, I bet. Trauma bond.
Yes. Yeah. And then when you are off, you go to a hotel and you stay there for a couple of days. They have doctors and psychologists and everything, making sure you're okay.
I don't want to be any show that we need this.
That stuff is off camera. But so, one by one, we would see each other at the hotel and we would all hang out together and commiserate.
Once you get voted off or whatever.
When you leave or if they tell you to leave, whatever. But yes. And so, I am glad that I met so many wonderful people. I could never do it again. But I'm glad I had the experience, but I'm good.
It's so funny.
They were so mad though that I decided to do it.
So your mom pitches this to you. What do you three say?
I was just so nervous because she's so tiny.
She's tiny but tough.
I feel like
she's got a strong core for Pilates.
I feel like most people who would do are like athletes, like you said, like professional swimmers or,
That's what freaks me out is the water.
Yeah, I didn't
the drowning factor.
Me too. Me too. So I was so nervous because she also couldn't text us and update us. So I just had to trust she was okay,
How long were you gone?
Turn your phone in.
Right.
The course is 10 days, and I lasted 2. But it felt like 2 weeks.
Very good. I think I would have lasted
in the
30
2 days.
seconds.
What I did, I don't know how I did that. I'm not joking. The whole day doesn't end. I was like, when do we get to sit and relax? Like, it's more than they show.
Where's my trailer?
Oh, I was like, where's the craft service? I really thought that they were going to break down in between and say, okay, you guys, there's craft service and all this. There isn't.
Nothing. No blankie. Nothing.
There's nothing. You're lucky. I had to negotiate a toilet facility because I'm like, I am not going to sit where you're right next to someone and you can see the legs on camera.
No.
So I did get and I'm sure the producers were not thrilled that I did make this public, but you should have privacy. I at least got a door from the floor up so that you can't see in. But Cam Newton is so damn tall. He was like, and they said they would have it. I go, how am I going to know where my private little toilet is?
Yeah.
And I said, and I don't want a target on my back. Like, everyone should be able to use the toilet.
Right.
Oh, you'll see it. It'll be behind some brush. I was like, all right, I did see it. But Cam Newton he's like, hey, wait a second. There's a private toilet right here. And I didn't say anything while we were there. I told them all after.
Did you let him use it?
I didn't say, they used it. I didn't say anything about it.
That's so.
But I'm like, I don't care. I didn't have a key to it or anything. So whoever could use it, used it. But it was such a weird experience because I'm strong vocally too on set. If feel right about something or whatever. On that show, I was so scared to speak up because you would get yelled at for everything. And the producers aren't right there. It's the DS guys that are in charge. And I thought that producers were just exaggerating about that part. Like, I thought they would be there like, hey, can I get a water or a snack or something? I'm a grazer with food. Yeah. And that was one of the hardest things for me, was to go so long without food. And no, they're not there. So I was scared.
Yeah, I would never do that. Well, I mean, wasn't it a little bit of a culture shock to go from scripted to reality in the first place? In general,
yes.
Like when you got on Beverly Hills, like, and look, I'm going to put this out at the top. Evolution's great.
They're
NBCU's amazing. They're all great. Like I've always had a good experience, but it's different. You don't arrive when you work on a housewife show. You don't arrive to set. There's no set. There's no trailer. There's no dressing room. There's no glam team unless you're paying for it.
Right. That's a big thing that people don't realize. For me, one of the biggest things the first couple of days of filming it was, they put the mic on and then I'm like, well, when are we starting? And
they're like,
Lisa
we did.
Rinna finally said, she goes, as soon as that mic's on, you started. I go, oh, because I'm like, no one says action or anything. Like they would put the cameras up and I was waiting for them to adjust stuff or say, okay, we're ready. And I'm just like, goofing around or whatever. I'm like, let me know when you guys are ready. They're like, we've been ready and filming. And when Garcelle started, her first scene was with me and she was waiting. And finally they're like, we're ready. And she goes, oh, I was waiting for someone to say action. I go, I did too. I go, no one says action. Action's when you put the mic on, just so you know.
It's so funny.
You
have
to do a different thing.
There was a scene with Lisa Rinna and Garcelle, and they're on a trip, okay? And they're in some house. And I just remember they're sitting there alone, the two of them, making really boring small talk. And it's because they're the only two on time. And it's because they're actors.
Right.
And I just remember seeing a clip of this scene and I'm laughing and I texted both of them and I wrote #call sheet. And they both texted back and they're like, I know.
It is very different.
It's very different.
And there is no craft service. That was the biggest thing too.
Well, the crew has craft service.
Yeah, well, the small little boxes of snacks they get. But I said to also, my second day of filming was the Bahamas trip. And we were on some little island after leaving our hotel. And Lisa Rinna knows me very well because I am a grazer and I snack all the time. And I always have pretzels in my bag or whatever. And I'm like, where is craft service? And they were laughing. And Rinna goes, we have to make sure Denise always has snacks. Food. I go, my blood sugar is dropping. I cannot do this.
This is not going to end well.
The next day, I took all the snacks out of my mini bar and stuffed them in my beach bag when we went on a boat. So I'm like, I can't go all day without eating like this.
No, you have to.
I know.
Let's Talk is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedies, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, then they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now that's something you want to press play on all day. It's easy to start a quote and you'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Companies and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Apartments.com believes a dishwasher does more than just clean plates. It turns your whole place into a time machine by turning the time you would have spent washing dishes into extra time for you. That could mean more time to read, more time to knit, or more time to contemplate the vastness of time itself. With Apartments.com, finding somewhere to live with an elusive dishwashing/time expanding device is easy. Apartments.com hosts the most rental listings with over 1 million available units. And with comprehensive search tools and instant alerts, you'll never have to worry about missing out on the perfect place. To find whatever you're searching for and more, visit Apartments.com, the place to find a place. So you've done reality, you've done all different kinds of shows. Now, when we're on a housewife show, obviously our kids are a part of it. They show our lives at home, our marriages, all that kind of thing. But you guys doing your own show takes it to a whole different level because, look, these shows are about conflict and resolution, right? And hopefully you're not having that within your own family. But how do you navigate that? And what made you want to pull the trigger on this? Did someone come to you with this? Did you guys go to someone?
Alex Baskin approached me and asked if I wanted to do a family docuseries. And I had, I talked to the girls about it because I wanted to make sure everyone was on board.
Got to have a family meeting.
Exactly. And Sammy right away was wanting to do it because she's always said in the past, we need cameras because it's always crazy and whatever going on in our life. But Lola was hesitant at first.
Why?
I don't know. I've never been someone who's watched reality or it's always just felt very just chaotic,
It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. It's very opposite.
I'm with you.
Yeah. From what I feel comfortable in, I guess. So I was just a little nervous because I didn't want it to cause conflict between our family. And also I think people have so many opinions, of course. And so I was nervous about, because people can be so harsh online, especially when our family maybe wasn't doing well, I guess.
Yeah, well, had a little bit in the press over the years with our family.
Get it. Yeah.
But I'm saying even when we started the show, Sammy and I, we weren't really talking. So I was hesitant too, because I was I don't know how this is going to go when we start filming. I also had no idea what it was going to be like. So I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was really getting myself into.
And now, how do you feel?
I'm glad that I did it.
Oh.
It was good for me.
Have you seen all the episodes?
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't watch
she hasn't seen the show.
Maybe it's better that way.
Yeah,
I would love to not watch our show.
Yeah, I'm only watching it because it's our show. But I didn't see a lot of the Housewives episodes either. I didn't see Special Forces. I don't watch a lot of my stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think though for them, one of the things that I did say to the girls was I wanted them to be themselves.
Yeah.
And they're very much themselves, almost to where, a couple times, I've told, you might want to reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, pull it back, sister.
You can be yourself. But
Sammy.
I'm glad that they're themselves because I think people see through that stuff anyway.
Yes, you have to be authentic, 100%.
Yeah.
But it is it's awkward, especially now that you're 19. I think it's a better time to jump in. But your little sister at 13, is she on the show a lot?
She is. Yeah. She's Eloise is primarily nonverbal, and she loves, and I talked to her about the show. She would watch the opening of Housewives over and over and over. She loved seeing me hold the diamond.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know. And the scenes she was on in the show, she liked watching herself. And so I explained what we were doing, and she loves the camera. She loves,
that's great.
She will laugh at the crew and smile with them. And she loves watching herself and doing shoots and things. So it's, she's obviously not on social media or anything like that, but she loves it.
Oh, I think it's great. And I think it's really beautiful. And you're showing what a great mom you are and how you parent three very different kids differently, and about adoption and, all the things. I think
special
it's amazing.
needs too. There's a lot of challenges with that. And I'm glad that I have this platform too, to share, the differences and how challenging it can be too. Yeah. And how much a special needs child can thrive and, with the simplest things. So I'm grateful to have that platform to show too.
Yeah, I think that's great. What about your ex? What about your dad? So was that a conversation with him about having him be a part of the show?
He is definitely, people will see him on the show. And, I told him, I said, it's your daughters and you need to support them. We've supported you all these years. Time for you to come on our show.
Quid pro quo. I like it.
And he was great. And I
that's
think
good.
it'll be good.
It was so fun to
Yeah.
film with him.
Yeah, you like
good.
having
It
your
was
dad there?
sweet.
Yeah.
It was really sweet to share a screen with him because I've never been on camera with him, but I've always seen him on camera, you know?
Uh-huh.
So it was a really sweet moment.
That
for me.
is so cute. Like, I
It
have
was
to
so
say, when my
cute.
kids were little, when we started the show, my youngest was 9 months old.
I remember.
Is that crazy? He's
Yes.
14 now.
14.
I know, it's insane. But the
Wow.
twins were 7, and then Kat was 4, and he was 9 months. But anyway, we have now these videos that I
Right.
never
Right.
would have had with the kids saying like funny things or whatever it was, and it's cool. But now you have this cool,
Right.
videos of you with your mom and with your sisters and with your dad. I mean, I think that's amazing.
I know. There's, you can't, it's really, those are lovely moments to have too.
Did anything happen that you regret,
No,
that you wish hadn't been shown?
no.
You feel really like
Yeah.
balanced about the
Yeah,
whole
I
thing.
do.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So it was a positive
It
experience.
was a positive experience. And I'm so grateful that we're getting such a positive reaction because you don't know if people are going to like your show or not.
No, people seem to love it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you. And it's nice. So many people have reached out to Lola. What an inspiration she is for
So
other people.
sweet.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing that I told her, there is a lot, obviously, with social media that can be negative, but I try to tell the girls to focus on just the positive. And there's a lot of good that can come out of it, of, trying to help other people do certain things or see something in us, or, we're just, at the end of the day, like you too, I'm a mom navigating my family, and you and Terry are parents navigating your family too. And a lot of people can relate to certain situations that you guys deal with.
I know that. I mean, I think that's the beauty of these platforms. I think is that you start conversations in other people's families, and
Right.
people see either that they're not alone, or how to handle different situations. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter how much money someone may have or how much fame
The
someone may
issues
have.
aren't the same.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have a lot of issues that a lot of other people can relate to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. So, will you do it again?
We'll see if we get picked up.
If it gets picked up, we'll see.
Would you do it again?
Yes, I would.
There's a but.
Yeah, I'm hearing a but too.
I heard a comma and a but.
I would do it again. I think now I know what to expect.
Mhm.
I have built a little bit more of a backbone. I've had to, because I think before I did it, I was worried because I'm very sensitive. And so, but I think God made me that way. I try to be like, oh, I shouldn't be that sensitive to people, but I just think that's who I am. And so I was nervous going into it in the beginning because I struggle with so many things, mental health related. So I was like, I hope this doesn't make me just get into a bad headspace. But after hearing the encouragement about my faith, it's so way more than a different reaction than I expected. And so, because I was thinking, I called her so many times before the show came out, and I was like, I'm so worried about this. I'm so scared I'm going to have to shut my phone off for a month or something. That was my plan. But then the encouragement showed me that being myself and being who I am really, can help people, and being real on camera with what you go through. So I would go into it again because I have so many people reaching out to me saying that I make them want to follow Jesus, or I make them know it's okay to not always look glam, or whatever it is, it's really sweet. So
What do your friends think about it?
they don't watch it. It's so funny. None of my friends have seen it. And I asked them, only one of my friends, Sarah, her whole family, they put it on every Tuesday. And they
She's
all
like
watch
another
it
daughter
together.
to me.
She's like my sister. She loves it. She thinks it's so funny. I told my friends they can watch it. I think they think that I'm embarrassed if they watch it. Nick, my one best guy friend, he won't watch it. He was in the scene. I'm like, please watch it. It's so funny, because we were making tacos,
Right.
but it was such an awkward scene. It was so
cute.
awkward. I didn't even realize it was that awkward till I watched it back. And I was like, oh my, Sammy, because the way that they cut it was we were making tacos and Sammy's getting ready for like a rave or something.
Yeah, it was very opposite.
The juxtaposition, yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, because it was so awkward. I didn't know what to say because Nick got a little like uncomfortable on camera. And I was like, oh my gosh, guys, look at this new strainer. And Sammy's like, oh my gosh, look at my outfit. Like it's so, because she wasn't really wearing any, what was the scene? Like it was so funny. She didn't really have
much on.
She didn't have much on. It was so funny.
Much of an outfit.
But Nick won't watch it. I don't know. They
so
don't
you
watch
did see
it.
that episode then?
Yes, I saw that.
Okay, good.
Oh, Sarah, well, only that clip.
Oh, Sarah sent it to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a great thing too with the girls doing this that I told them, they've always lived in the shadow of Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen.
Now they have their own thing.
So it's been a nice thing for them to have their own voice and to have people start getting to know them as adults as, you know, them.
Yeah, it is interesting. I was going to ask you, Lola, because Sammy has made a name for herself in the last few years with the OnlyFans and everything. And she's like a big influencer. People know her. I'm assuming she gets recognized out in public.
I think she does.
Yeah.
But have you now started getting recognized? I mean, I know you recognize if you're with one of your parents. Obviously, they know you're their child. But now that you're on this show, are you getting recognized in your own right?
The first time I got recognized was when I went to Arizona to film a podcast about Jesus. And this woman, like I had just started my podcast. I uploaded one video sharing my testimony. And this woman came up to me almost in tears and she was like, oh my gosh, I just saw your testimony. And like was so encouraging. She was like, I can't believe you're right here. I was like, that's so crazy from something I like just posted. I haven't gotten recognized from the show yet, though.
You did. You signed your first autograph.
Oh,
you did.
Oh my gosh!
I was behind her in the building.
So
she already walked out, and I was like, I wish I had my phone to record her. She got to sign her first autograph. It was so cute.
I guess I did get recognized in New York.
You did.
A couple people asked to take a photo with me, and I thought they weren't like talking to Sammy. And they're like, "No, I really want a photo with you." I was like, "Oh, are you sure?" so weird.
Cute.
That is so sweet. Do you like that?
I think it's really sweet. It's very humbling because I'm just like, who am I to like take a photo? I don't know.
It's very strange.
It's
I have to say, I'm curious how you feel about this too. But like back in the day when we were just scripted actresses, it was different, right? People would come up to you and they'd be like, oh, I love your show, or I love your character, that kind of thing. But now they know you.
They know you.
They know you. And so when they come up to you, they've been in your home.
I know.
And they feel like you are friends.
Yeah.
And you've affected their lives in some way. I mean, it's lovely, but it is humbling, but it's also, it's so bizarre, isn't it?
It is, because they know a lot.
Yeah.
And they actually think they know more sometimes about certain things. And
so true.
You know, it's that fine line. It is different.
Yeah.
It's very different. Especially the housewife thing. That thing is just blown up.
Yes.
It's so much bigger now than it ever was.
Really bigger.
It's crazy. Oh, I love that you're getting recognized. That's
I know. Isn't that cute?
It's so sweet. The autograph was really sweet. I felt so bad because they like were rushing me out. So I wrote my name so bad, but I drew him a heart because I felt so bad.
Was he an older gentleman? Because mostly people want photos.
He was older.
It was
mostly older people want it.
outside,
but it was like
it
was like a whiteboard though.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you going to keep this? Because I use them like a Sharpie. What is it? Yeah, like a Sharpie on a whiteboard. So funny.
I don't know. They have a way of doing it.
I know.
Long time from the days we used to sit there and sign those little index cards.
Yes.
Do you remember that? So crazy.
It's so funny.
All right. So we think maybe we might do this again. It's on the table.
We have to see if people like us enough to have us back again.
Would you ever go back to Housewives?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
All right. I love that. All right. You heard it here first. Who knows? Door is always open.
No, I'm close to a lot of the women on the show. So that would make sense, you know.
Yeah. But you've been back a little bit. You've done some
little bit
appearances.
And I'm sure like with you, become friends with women from some of the other.
Isn't that so crazy? I always say it's like a sorority. That's why I don't watch the other shows, because I don't want to know.
Right.
I just want to, you meet people and you're like, oh, this is gals.
And you catch up on real life stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm so happy for both of you, for the whole family.
You.
Congratulations on all the success.
Thank
I'm gonna,
you.
Gonna cross my fingers for a second season.
Thank you so much.
I think it's great.
Thank you. That's
Tell
so
everyone how to
kind.
find you on social and how to give everyone the name of your podcast.
So sweet. My podcast is called Heavenly Bonded. And then my Instagram is just Lola Sheen. So, yeah.
And your social.
Denise Richards.
There it is. There it is. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Thank you so much.